Hey guys, welcome to the Slimline Lite install video. My name is Catlin. Today we're going to be installing our new product, the Slimline Lite. This is the Slimline bumper that we make that holds a light bar, has a hoop, and there's no trimming. It's half the weight as our normal one. We're going to be going over installing this main shell, installing the hoop, adjusting and installing our light bar brackets, as well as our lower skid down there. So with that, we'll go over the parts and we'll get started. All right, we're gonna go over real quick what comes with your Slimline Lite, what to expect. The base is this Slimline Lite shell that we're gonna be bolting to the front of the vehicle. With this comes two upper support brackets. We'll show you how these go on. And also for your light bar cutout, you have two light bar brackets that look like this. One's already connected to the light bar and we'll go over that, but this is going to go up on the inside, but you'll have two like this. And that's it, other than the hoop and the skid plate, and we'll touch base on that too. Okay, first thing we're going to do, we're going to pop the hood. We're going to need to access the top of our crash bar down behind the grill. Easiest way to do that is to get rid of this front valance here. It's got about 10 of these little pop plastic pieces. Of course, I'm missing one as usual. Once you push them all the way through, they should pry out, and just remove them all, and then this whole plastic piece will come up. This comes off. All right, next. We also have what I call a mid-skid, but it's basically a plastic skid plate or valance that goes between the bottom of your bumper here to your factory skid plate. We're going to get under there. This is just a couple bolts. We're going to take those out, and then we can start installing the shell. Okay, up underneath the vehicle is the lower valance or mid-skid plate. I'll call it mid-skid. We've got 5 bolts here, 10 millimeter head, and then 2 here, and another push clip. You just go ahead and unloosen all those, but we're going to want to hang on to these bolts. These specific bolts have like a little locating shoulder on it. We're going to reuse these when we reinstall our Slimline Lite. So go ahead and we'll take all these out and we'll remove it. We'll move on. These 2 that are attached are also going to come out. All right, and this guy. All right, we'll pull it down and we can get rid of this guy now. We're back up on top. We're going to put our upper support mounts, these little guys. We're going to put these, they're going to bolt on top of our crash bar. Down inside here is a big aluminum channel, as you can see in the camera. What we're after is this bolt right here. We're going to remove that. Now this booger is on there pretty tight, and as you can see, there's not a lot of room in here. What I noticed was easier for breaking it loose the first time. Get up underneath the vehicle, and you can get easier access to breaking this bolt loose. And then we can come up here and put our bracket on. So we're going to break that loose real quick. We've got a 14 millimeter on a 3/8 ratchet. A little easier to get up in here instead of reaching all the way down. And then you can kind of use your crash bar. Just be careful of your little poses. Well, I got a little more leverage I can push up against here. Remove this all the way. We've got 2 brackets. Obviously they're a mirrored image of each other. We want the flat side facing the outside of the vehicle. You're going to take that bolt that we just removed. We're going to pass through here into the top of the crash bar. You can do it from the top or bottom again. It's pretty easy. Key thing is, though, this is going to be poking through the bottom of your grill. So we're going to put this, see at the very bottom of my grill right here, this last little triangle. We're going to line the hole up and drop our bolt back in. Notice the flat side is out towards the outside of the vehicle. Tighten it down. We're not going to tighten anything down all the way. I want to have enough movement that I can slide it back and forth and side to side so I can get the best fitment. Not all vehicles are put together equally. So I can see them move it, but it's not rocking a whole lot. All right, so we're just going to leave it like that. It's going to come down through this last triangle. Okay, before installing the face, we're going to put our light bar in first. It's a lot easier to do that way. You're going to see these little brackets like this with these little slots. If you notice, the slots, one's skinny, one's fat. And that's a mirrored image on the other side. I want to find whatever slot my bolt will fit in. Like this one will not fit in there, but it will fit in this one because not all light bars have the same size hole in the side. We're going to slide our bolt in there. Some of you may have a stud with a nut. Find whatever best fits your bolt. And then we're going to take the blank side is going to go towards the light side. And the nut here is going to face up. What I like to do is just keep them loose and lay it flat on a table or a cloth or something like that that's flat. And what that's going to do is put your light bar and your mounts evenly. And they'll be exactly at the face. We'll tighten them up. Use your Allen wrench for this one. Tighten it up. This one's already been tightened. Okay. Now, you'll have you'll have several of these 3/8 bolts. You'll have about 6 of them or so. Yeah, 6. 2 of these are for your light bars. And I'll show you how it works. So on the back side of the bumper, let's lay it down. These 2 brackets are going to go over the light bar mount. We're going to be coming through the top into this weld nut. And then get that in there. Tighten it all down. Keep it a little loose because we want to center up this universal light bar mount. And I'll show you how that works on the front. Roll it back over. And what we're looking for is an even gap here. The design is to kind of keep from a bunch of air and light coming around it. But kind of looking at our bolt, kind of looking here, you can get a measuring tape out, measure, your gap. But what we're trying to achieve is an even, so your light bar is not crooked or whatever. And this can always be adjusted while on the vehicle. But you can see how it slides. And the bracket kind of closes that gap up with it. So I'm going to even it up and I'm going to tighten it down. And you should still be able to adjust your light as well. Make sure you're not blinding people. All right, now we're ready to go on the truck. Before we get going, you'll be supplied with some edge trim. I don't know if it's going to look exactly like this, but this is what we're using for the video. This edge trim is just going to fall in this area, and it's going to try to, keep a nice, suction on the truck and keep it from scratching if it did come into contact with your plastic, which it shouldn't. Your cord is going to go through your grill. So we're looking here, finding the nearest triangle. I'm going to push through. Some plugs are going to be different. Watch the bottom of your vehicle on the paint, but we're just going to try to rest the lip up on top of our upper supports so it's supported. Make sure our wire's out of the way. All right. Now we're resting on it. I should be able to take my hands off. I'm going to push the bottom in and try to get these 5 holes lined up down here. I'm going to go back to these bolts with the shoulders on it. Okay, underneath the vehicle, is under view. We're looking for these 5 holes. As you can see, I'm lined up in every hole. you'll notice this little window right here. What we want to achieve is that this little plastic lip on your bumper falls inside this window. Usually once it's in there, it's pretty good. It is a little snug, but you do have to kind of force it sometimes, but if they will line up. Our shoulder bolt should fall inside of the Offroad hole. Those Offroad holes are to give you a little bit more breathing room so you can adjust it. We're going to get all of them started. We're not tightening anything down. We may still need to center it. If it doesn't want to sit down, you may have to give it a little push, get it in there. All right, all of our bolts are in. We're going to go back up top. We're going to attach our upper supports. So, top of the bumper, our upper support bracket is going to come underneath the top of this bumper, as it should already be. We're lining that hole up, using my hand back here to move that bracket if necessary, in or out or sideways. Once I get it lined up, get that bolt started. And do the same size thing on that side. Not tightening it all the way just yet. After that, we just want to kind of look at it, see if it's centered enough for us. Do you want it in or further out? Now's the time to do it. I like to suck it up in there and then tighten it down. Tighten these two up here. Then we'll tighten our brackets on the inside completely. Our upper brackets tightened up. I'm going to go down here and we're going to tighten up all 5 of those lower brackets. Lower bolts, sorry. Slimline Lite is installed. Now, if you got the hoop as an option, I like to just put it on there, tighten everything up so all my bolt holes are lined up, then add the hoop, then add your skid plate. So we'll go over the hoop real quick. It's as simple as you would think. You'll have bolts for these locations too to either just fill in or use the hoop. We're going to take this back off. Now that these are tightened, if you don't tighten these up and you try to put your hoop on, it's a good chance that bracket might move, and then you're going to be fighting it to try and line it up again. So now that this bracket's tightened up, it should be nice and firm. I'm going to take these off real quick. Hoop can be put on before putting the bumper on, but for install purposes, I wanted to leave it off, just in case this is an afterthought for you. All right, bolts are out. Holes are still lined up. We're literally just going to line all of our holes up. Sharing the same bolt hole as we did for the upper support. Get those started. A lower skid. This is to replace the little plastic one that we had taken off. If this is only going to work for the factory OEM black skid plate, because you have these 2 mounting holes. Aftermarket skid plates come up a little bit farther, and also the TRD. It can be. We have installed it with an aftermarket skid plate, but you would need to do something to attach it here because it may rattle. But this is meant for OEM purposes if you choose to have that protection. I don't think the plastic will go back on there. This is why we have it. Moving forward, we're only removing 3 bolts. Center one, and then our 2 outside ones. This one's going to hold the bumper shell in place while we install the rest of it. So we're going to take these out. And we're going to go on to end block. Yes, the SSO is backwards on the skid plate. Yours will not be. the 3 tabs of what we're lining up here. Bolt does not go in the center, so if you're trying to thread something, there should not be threads here. We're attaching on the outsides on the lower part. And the last one. Ouch. All right. We'll suck it all in. And we're tight. Last but not least, if you feel the need, your little clip can go back in there from your original OEM. And voila. Now you got a little extra. All right, guys, now that the bumper's installed, it's looking great. Last thing you have to do is wire up your light bar and install a switch inside your car. Thank you for your patience, and feel free to call us if you have any questions. We hope this is helpful. We hope you enjoy our product, and we hope that you leave us good feedback. Subscribe and leave a comment. Thank you.